From man's effeminate slackness it begins, said the angel, who should better hold his place by wisdom and superior gifts received. But now prepare thee for another scene. He looked and saw a wide territory spread before him, towns and rural works between, cities of men with lofty gates and towers, concourse and arms, fierce faces threatening war, giants of mighty bone and bold emprise. Part wield their arms, part curb the foaming steed, single or in array of battle ranged, both horse and foot, nor idly mustering stood. One way a band select from forage drives a herd of beeves, fair oxen and fair kine, from a fat meadow ground, or fleecy flock, ewes and their bleating lambs over the plain, their booty. Scarce with life the shepherds fly, but call in aid, which makes a bloody fray. With cruel tournament the squadrons join, where cattle pastured late, now scattered lies with carcasses and arms the ensanguined field. Deserted, others to a city strong lay siege, encamped, by battery, scale, and mine assaulting. Others from the wall defend with dart and javelin, stones and sulphurous fire, on each hand slaughter and gigantic deeds. In other part the sceptred heralds call to council in the city gates. Anon grey-headed men and grave, with warriors mixed, assemble, and harangues are heard, but soon, in factious opposition, till at last, of middle age one rising, eminent and wise deport, spake much of right and wrong, of justice or religion, truth and peace, and judgment from above. Him old and young exploded, and had seized with violent hands, had not a cloud descending snatched him thence unseen amid the throng. So violence proceeded, and oppression, and sword law, through all the plain, in refuge none was found. Adam was all in tears, and to his guide lamenting turned full sad. Oh, what are these, death's ministers, not men, who thus deal death inhumanly to men, and multiply 10,000-fold the sin of him who slew his brother? For of whom such massacre make they, but of their brethren, men of men? But who was that just man, whom had not heaven rescued, had in his righteousness been lost? To whom thus Michael, these are the product of those ill-mated marriages thou sawest, where good with bad were matched, who of themselves abhor to join, and by imprudence mixed, produce prodigious births of body or mind. Such were these giants, men of high renown, for in those days might only shall be admired, and valor and heroic virtue called. To overcome in battle and subdue nations, and bring home spoils with infinite manslaughter, shall be held the highest pitch of human glory, and for glory done of triumph, to be styled great conquerors, patrons of mankind, gods and sons of gods, destroyers rightlier called, and plagues of men. Thus fame shall be achieved, renown on earth, and what most merits fame in silence hid, but he, the seventh from thee, whom thou beheldest, the only righteous in a world perverse, and therefore hated, therefore so beset with foes, for daring single to be just, and utter odious truth, that God would come to judge them with his saints, him the Most High, wrapped in a balmy cloud with winged steeds, did, as thou sawest, receive, to walk with God high in salvation in the climes of bliss, exempt from death, to show thee what reward awaits the good, the rest what punishment. which now direct thine eyes, and soon behold